Hello, my name is Emily Iannelli. I'm trying to make myself as presentable as possible. I did get my hair styled, so I'm pretty happy with it. I love the girls who do my hairstyle. I can't do it that often, but I wanted to look good because I was doing campaign work for the Hillary Clinton campaign, and I respect and admire her. So, as a representative campaigning, I wanted to make sure I looked my very best. So, I was in Pennsylvania today, took a bus from um, Garden City, and we drove to Philadelphia, where I met some lovely people, and we did some canvassing. I wish I had been able to do more, but I did my best. I'm obviously voting for Hillary. She's definitely my candidate of choice. Um, I have a lot of vested interest in why I'm voting for her. One of the reasons is because of my situation being disabled. I have bipolar disorder. It runs in my family. My mom had manic depression, which is another way of saying bipolar disorder. Um, and sadly, she died at a relatively young age. She was 50. So it was the depression that really took her away from us. Plus, she lost her will to live. So, in essence, she gave up. She lost the fight to live. And then my dad sadly suffered with depression and alcoholism due to the pressures of his work as an iron worker. So he succumbed to his depression and alcoholism and eventually committed suicide. I think the early death of my mom had affected my dad in many ways. So Hillary stands for all people, and she respects people of all groups. She does not um, have any um, policies that hurt people. And being that I'm disabled and that I rely on Social Security disability and my long term disability, um, I worked 30 years of my life in accounting. I went to college for engineering and accounting. I worked hard. I paid my dues, so to speak. Um, I paid into the system, paying my Social Security taxes. My employers covered the portion that they were responsible for. I paid my portion. Um, I paid my federal withholding taxes, my state income taxes. I paid my real estate taxes. So I am a law-abiding citizen. I pay all my taxes. I paid into the system, and I got very sick. Uh, and I got a formal diagnosis of bipolar disorder, which is disabling for me, especially in my work situation. I'm not only bipolar, but I'm also transgender. And Hillary also has policies in place that respect LGBT people. LGBT individuals have dignity. They wish for dignity, respect. Um, they want to be treated fairly. They want to be able to have opportunity. And Hillary recognizes that, whereas her opponent has no policies whatsoever that would benefit LGBT individuals. In fact, they are discriminating against the LGBT community, and also they have no compassion for people who are disabled. But Hillary's campaign is a different. They look at things differently, and they approach their campaign with compassion towards people who have disabled, are disabled, and who may be transgender, which I am. I also have a son who's autistic, and I'm very comfortable knowing that if Hillary is elected into office as president, that she will do a much better job than her opponent. Hillary isn't perfect, nor is her opponent, and no matter what he says, he's not perfect. So we all know who we should vote for based on what our beliefs are, what our opinions are. And I have my own opinions, and I know when I vote it's going to be for Hillary. Donald Trump just does not do it for me, and he is not a fair, equal presidential candidate. He does not treat women fairly, and I do not like his rhetoric, and I don't like the way he looks upon this country and makes it out to be a disaster. The way he speaks of our military. Hillary has a much more optimistic point of view, and I am much more in line with her thinking. I think it's important that people weigh their opinions and their values, what is important to them, and make their choice. That's the beauty of our country, is that we all have a choice. We can vote for whoever we wish to, and that's the whole beautiful thing about having a democracy. With that said, though, I think there's a lot of dangerous rhetoric going around, especially from the Donald Trump camp. He espouses it. He's threatening that he would elect to question the results of the campaign if they didn't work out in his favor. Currently, the polls are showing that Hillary is doing well and is probably going to have more of an advantage over Trump. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed that in the end that Hillary will win with a commanding lead. I don't like bigotry. I don't like people who look at life only from their own point of view and are very selfish, and they only look at it one way, their way. They don't look at it from a perspective of many people coming to solve the problem. Not one person can solve the problems of this country. Not one person can say they can fix it. That just doesn't make any sense. You need a collaboration of people. That's why we have a government. That's why we have a Congress. One person cannot decide the fate of all. President Obama, he is a good leader. He did good things. What Trump did to him was not right. I think he was not given the respect that he deserved based on Trump's consistent urging of him to prove his birthplace and that he was indeed born in the United States. And I think it's a disgrace. I also think it's a disgrace that Trump has such an ego and that he's never wrong, obviously, and that he can get away with things. It is now evident that he mistreats women and he just makes it seem like it's not true and that they're the ones that are making it all up, which I highly doubt. There must be truth to it, especially the way he talks. He has no respect. He doesn't deserve to be a leader. He shows no respect for our military. He mocks people. He mocks the disabled. He does not believe in marriage equality. He does not believe in women's right to make a choice. That is a difficult choice. Our country is based on a constitution where we as a people live by our leaders, but our leaders must be many, not just one person. We are not a dictatorship. We are a country that should be unified. We have to have strength in numbers. No one person can say that they are the ones who will make the decisions. That is a very dangerous philosophy. And I am going to vote my conscience at this election. And I am very proud to say that I will be voting for Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton has some she has good qualities. She's very firm in her positions. She knows what she's talking about. She has a good command of the land and her role. She has a lot of experience, which Donald Trump seems to criticize. She's done very good in so many areas. Sure, there were situations that developed that you can point fingers at, but we live in a world, a society where there is war, where there is violence. We cannot always be perfect, and making decisions is not always easy. And sadly, when people join the military and they go into battle zones or they are in embassies that are under siege. There is possibility of tragedy. And that's just the nature of the beast. We live in a violent world. And that is another thing. We need gun reform, gun control. Our government has too much, they are controlled too much by NRA and other lobbyists. And that is a crime. When you see young kids being gunned down in their schools, when you see on college campuses students and professors being gunned down in classroom settings, when you see people being gunned down at a social club, a nightclub, when you see people being gunned down at a movie theater or in a high school, students attending a high school being gunned down, or young schoolgirls in an Amish school being gunned down one by one, there is no way we can have this continue. There must be tight reform on gun control. I am very, very disappointed that we have to see these tragedies over and over and over again, and it just seems to fall upon deaf ears, and we don't get anywhere near where we have to be. Guns are dangerous, and people who have imbalances or have agendas that are evil should not be in possession of guns. There has to be tight controls of guns, and we don't just sweep it under the carpet. This is happening too much. Our country is one of the most violent country with regard to gun violence and gun shootings. And I'm a transgender woman. And transgender women not only fight the possibility of suicide, but they also fight the possibility of being shot to death. And it is scary. And there are as many black transgender women that are victims of gun violence. We must take firm action and get the guns out of the hands of these people who do not deserve to have possession of such guns. We are seeing too many innocent people dying at the hands of these individuals who should not have guns. We have an economy that seems to be lagging. We need to figure out solutions. Hillary is proposing increase of taxes to the higher echelon of people and to corporations. Rich corporations must contribute to the economy. They make revenues, they must pay taxes. And there is no reason why the tax base should not be increased. Also, rich individuals who have more money than they ever need should pay their fair share of tax. We need to figure out the best way. The middle class struggle, and yet they pay pretty high tax. So we need to make it more equitable. And we do not need to make it where the people who are being squeezed, like me, who's barely surviving, has to pay more in tax. I live on a fixed income. I'm disabled. I worked 30 years in the accounting field. I went to college. I paid my loans. I have a mortgage. I have a son who's autistic. I pay high real estate taxes. I barely am surviving. I almost got foreclosed on my house. I need to be able to be assured that I can protect my family, give my son a future, hopefully, help him, and hopefully he will be able to get on his feet one day, or at least have something where he can get benefits. He's already on my disability because of being a minor child, and I am disabled. And my son, tragically, or sadly, I should say, not tragic, but sadly, has a condition called autism, which is severe in a sense because of his social standings. He has a great deal of difficulty socializing, and it is hard for him to integrate. And he has difficulties in school, so he would have increased difficulties in a situation where he's with people. Certainly, working situation would not be conducive at this point. He's a big worry for me, and I want obviously the best for him as a parent, and I want to do the best I can. So I feel that Hillary represents the things that I am concerned about as a human being, as a citizen of this great nation, United States, and I will cast my vote for Hillary in this coming election. And it's a very important time in our country, so I hope all who vote take it seriously, because this is very important. Thank you. Bye.